Hey y'all, hey, it's Sharita with BLNK SPCE Designs, where we get into the behind the scenes and shenanigans of attempting to grow a boutique stationery and gift shop while also working a 9 to 5. Thanks for checking in with me again. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, follow, share, all that good stuff so you can keep up with all the silliness that we get into while trying to run this small business. Anywho, this video is going to be all about all the nice little businessy sales and expense stuff that we got into during Q2 of 2025. But before we get into all that, let's run back a little bit of the reset of my actual studio space because as usual, I did let it get a little bit out of control. Hey, y'all. So, let's go ahead and jump right into the video and start talking about some of these Q2 numbers. Just spoiler alert right at the top. Could any of this have been better? Of course it could have been, of course. Did I meet most of the goals that I set for this particular quarter? No, I did not. Am I attempting to make some changes in order to meet my overall 2025 goals? Yes, I am. And that's what these reset videos are supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be a nice little check-in to ensure that one, we stay on top of the goals that we have put into place. And two, attempt to put in some action items to either continue to meet those goals, surpass those goals, or if something needs to switch up in order to make some significant changes, we need to do that. And that's where we currently are. Sales are fine. They're fine. They're fine. Every small business owner is pretty much saying the same thing. We all know what this economy is like. We all know the similar issues that we're currently having with sales. Sales are just fine. I want them to be more than fine though. And in order to do that, I do know that I just need to put a lot more thought and effort into the items that I am providing for customers. I really need to get into my catalog and ensure that I am providing the best quality and the most fun and enticing things. I have been saying that, I know guys, for over 6 months now. But with this little check in and with this reset, it really became glaringly obvious that I need to do some work regarding really streamlining my catalog and getting some more significantly priced items out there. Anywho, you know what? Since we're already here, let's start off this entire let's start it off with just what my goals are for the rest of the year. So if you remember what my goals were, which I'm sure you don't. So my goals for 2025 were to increase my sales by 35% over 2024, attend at least 6+ vendor events. That one might be pulled back a little bit, but we'll see. Um, have my products available in 3 retail spaces, and I wanted to streamline my calendar offerings. Those were my overall general goals for 2025. And those goals haven't really changed. I do still think that they're absolutely feasible. I just need to make sure that I'm doing the work to meet those particular things. Now that we're halfway through the year, it is a little dicey whether or not we might meet that 35% increase in sales, only because when it comes to actual sales, my year over year analysis, meaning how much did I sell the first half of 2024 versus how much I sold the first half of 2025. There's a slight difference, but definitely not anything crazy significant. I actually think it's only going up about 10%, and I had every intention of that being closer to 25% by this time of the year. And you know, the vast majority of my sales do come in the last half of the year. So I still have plenty of time to make some significant change when it comes to actual sales numbers. But I do need to make sure that I'm doing the work to meet those numbers. Wow. Wow. And this is where it gets tricky. Wow, not stressing myself out and causing this to be something that I wholeheartedly dislike. Because let's be real, for me specifically, I know every small business owner isn't this, but I do have the privilege of going into this knowing that I still want this to be fun. I still want this to be fun. I still want this to be enjoyable. And once it becomes something that's just a chore or something that I don't like, I know me. It won't be something that's sustainable if it's something that I don't like. I already have that. I have a whole 9 to 5 that isn't the best part of my day. Why would I also have my small business being that as well? Anyhow, so that's where we are. We need to really, in order to stick the landing, in 2025 and meet those goals, I need to ensure that I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm really attempting to get these action items out of my head and on paper so that I can meet these goals that I put into place over 6 months ago. And I know a lot of it is just I haven't done the necessary work to mark some of this stuff off. So we just need to turn a little bit of that around and get back to checking things off this to do list. My Q3 goals are going to be digging into that catalog. I say it every reset video. I know I do. Please keep me accountable. I know I do. Feel free to yell at me in the comments about how I keep saying it over and over, but it definitely needs to happen next quarter. This next quarter, I really need to dig into this catalog and ensure that all the things that I am providing should actually be there. I think there might be quite a few products that I'm holding on to because I have some sort of emotional tie to them. But should I be paying the Etsy fees and all that kind of stuff on items that are not moving? Yeah, it's a little tricky to think about that. I like them. I think they're cute. And the random once or twice that somebody buys them makes me giggle. But that once or twice a year giggle, is that worth paying a year's worth of Etsy fees on that item? On that listing? Probably not. So I definitely need to make some tough decisions when it comes to that. Another thing for Q3 that has already started happening, actually, and I'm very excited about it, is to start to plan around the holiday season. I really need to make sure that I hit the ground running when it comes to the holiday. And if you follow any other small business people, everybody else pretty much is already thinking about Christmas at this point. We are right at the end of June into July, and folks are definitely already starting their holiday planning, and I want to make sure that I am not behind the curve when it comes to the holidays this year. I will say that for some of the local events that I want to be a part of, they've already put their holiday pop up applications out, and I've already started applying to those, which I'm so happy to be in a better place this year to go ahead and start thinking about my schedule so far in advance. I didn't really do that last year, so I was almost scrambling to attempt to be a part of some of these things. But this year, I set reminders and I was on top of it. So I have already started most of those applications, if not already submitted quite a few of them. And I'm very, very, very happy to announce that I have already been accepted to the major holiday market that I want to be a part of. It's a 2-day market that the company that runs the retail space I'm in, that company has just recently started. I think this might just be their third year doing it. And I chickened out last year and didn't apply last year. Number one, because the vendor fee was kind of significant and I was scared to do it. It's a 2-day market and I really don't have a lot of experience with that. And it just seemed it just seemed overwhelming. It seemed overwhelming, and I just talked myself out of it. But this year, especially seeing all the success that they've had, I said I was going to do it. We were just going to attempt to do it, and whatever happened, happened. And I did my application last week, and I found out just 2 days ago that I was accepted for both days with a 10 by 10 space indoors. And they've already sent out like communication about the number of people they're expecting and the kind of success people had last year. And I am already freaking out. Is this event 6 months away? It's in December. It's a whole 6 months away. And already, the amount of work this is going to take seems astounding. But I'm actually really, really, really excited about it. I'm really excited about it. And one of the things that I'm truly excited about are all the new things that I want available by the time I'm doing holiday markets. I really want there to be some new fresh products with blank space by the time the holiday season comes around. So it's exciting. Creatively, it's exciting. The financial piece, absolutely, of course, it's exciting. Who doesn't like making money? Just the entire process is slightly overwhelming, but very exciting. And it's going to be great to have y'all along so y'all can see how and if we actually get there successfully. So that's where we are with our goals. So we've talked about a little bit about increasing sales and vendor stuff. One of the other things was to be in 3 retail spaces. I almost pulled the trigger on a local retail space so that I could be in 2 different ones. I just wasn't feeling it. A lot of it just had to do with vibes. It really did. It really did. I try to listen to my intuition and whatnot as much as possible. I am over 40 and my intuition has rarely failed me. So I went and visited the place a handful of times, as we all should when we're thinking about making these kind of decisions. The cost was a little significant, and I just didn't feel as though I was a good fit. I was accepted, I was approved. They seemed to be excited to have me in there. I don't know. It just didn't seem like my products fit the overall vibe. And maybe that was intentional why I was approved. Maybe they want to bring in more of what I was providing. I just I don't know. It just didn't feel right. And to be honest, I haven't completely denied anything. I haven't denied being part of it at all. It's like a rolling type of thing. So now that I've been approved, I think I can go back to them pretty much at any point and tell them I would like to be a part of it. I just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right at the moment. So I'm keeping it on the back burner at this time, and we will think about it for the next month, for the next couple of weeks to see if I truly want to do that. My main issue with it is that it actually comes with like almost a lease contract. It's not month to month. It's not even 3 months. It's a full year's commitment, which on their end, completely understand. For their business model, completely understand it. For me though, I don't know if I want to, if I'm in the position right now where I want to sign up for a full year contract, especially at the amount that they're talking about. Because it's quite possible that I do terribly there. And now I'm just, you know, you know, I got to think about it. I got to think about it, play with the numbers a little bit, um, see how, just, yeah, y'all get it. Y'all get it. I got to think about it some more. It's not calling to me at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. My goal still does include attempting to be in 3 retail spaces by the end of the year. It's a lot harder to do that. The retail space is local to me. They're very competitive, very competitive. The space that I'm currently in, I truly think I just got in at a good time and it was just luck. It truly was just luck. Um, so I have put in applications for other spaces, but it's just all a waiting game or a wait list game. So that goal, it's so far not moving as quickly as I would like it to, but we still got 6 months left, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so that's where we are as far as actual business goals. More work. There's more work that can be done and that I need to do in order to chip away at getting closer and closer to these goals. So we shall see. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, here's hoping and all those good things. Hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully. Now, let's move on to the numbers very, very quickly. Nothing ridiculous, but I did want to loop y'all in on where we are. So, during Q2, I sold across all the revenue streams 569 items, with, of course, stickers leading the pack ridiculously at 67%. That's just always been the case. It probably always will be the case. I almost started pretty much as a sticker company, so I completely understand. Of those 569 items, let's see, 5.5% of those were sold at pop-ups, 2.5 on my Blank Space Design Shopify site, 9.5% on my Etsy site, 70.3% in the one retail space I'm in, which completely explains why I'm really trying to go hard into getting into more brick and mortars. 4.9 was with Fair, and 7.4% were custom orders that I take from friends and family. Not bad. It was not a bad quarter. Not truly where I want it to be, but not a bad sales quarter at all. I think that I didn't really meet my small little sales goal for the quarter because I just didn't hit some of the new product launch dates that I wanted to. I had every intention of doing a spring launch and an early summer launch, both which would have been during Q2 and affected the Q2 numbers, but I didn't do either. So the summer launch that I have planned will not happen until the beginning of July, which is now. It's actually going to be out in just a couple of days. So that was quite delayed, which had an effect on those Q2 numbers. Yeah. So maybe if I had launched those little mini collections like I had planned, maybe the numbers would have been better, but they didn't happen. So these are the numbers that we are dealing with at the end of Q2. So when it comes to expenses, expenses actually weren't that bad. My expenses did go down from the end of 2024, and they went down from Q1 as well. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing that I had a lower expense quarter for the second quarter, because my expenses will ratchet up quite a bit through with the third quarter because of all the vendor fees I plan on making, because of all the pop-ups I'm going to be attending, and attempting to get ready for all those vendors, all of these supplies and things that I'm going to have to make sure in-house so I can stay on top of production. So I know Q3, the expenses are going to go up quite a bit. So having a lower Q2 definitely was the way to go. So very happy that I was able to do that. So of the expenses that were incurred during Q2, 9.4% of them were for phone hosting and any software things. 1.1 was any meals and entertainment, which, to be quite honest, I think I just swiped the wrong card when it came to that. 76.5 were any office supplies, 9.4 shipping and postage, and 5% were any subscriptions, which compared to the percentages for any other quarter or at the end of the year, they pretty much just stay the same. They normally don't change very much. The amount just normally fluctuates during what time of the year it is. So those are the numbers for Q2. I know that during these reset videos, I tend to get into some of the social media numbers as well, but I have a part two to my social media consistency video coming up in the next couple of days. So I'm just going to leave those numbers for that next video. Q2 was satisfactory. It wasn't too shabby. It is still, even with it not really going gangbusters. Is that how you say that phrase? I don't know. Even with it not, breaking all kinds of personal business goals and that sort of thing, it is still always so amazing whenever I do these reset videos and I'm having to dump all this information into Excel and I make my pretty graphs and that sort of thing. It's always amazing. And it always makes me laugh that I've even gotten to this point. I've definitely been a person where For a while, I was getting maybe 3 or 4 online orders in a quarter, like, not even being funny. That I legit would do a cute little quarterly report just for my own, just to see where we are, and I would have a total of 5 orders for a 3-month period. And that's just how my business ran for a while. That's exactly how it ran for a while. So if you're in this state, I know you hear it all the time. A lot of it is just pushing through, putting your best foot forward, putting your best products forward, just remaining consistency in whatever area that you've decided to remain consistent, with your marketing or your social media or showing up in real life, pop-ups, whatever way you've decided that that is your best sales approach, remaining consistent in that way. And it does slowly creep up. If you find that it doesn't creep up and that sales don't start to accumulate a little bit, something's not working. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And sometimes it might come down to the quality of the product or just the product itself. I know when I first started and the type of things that I was offering was so niche, so very, 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 very niche. And the people who got it and loved it. But because it was so niche, there was only so far that I could actually take it. And there was only so far that I feel I would have been able to grow the business because of how niche it was. And if I was truly just completely, if you're completely passionate about that niche thing, balls to the wall, just do it. But because I wasn't even passionate about the thing, I'm very, very glad that I made a pivot into doing something that I am actually passionate about, which is just being a snarky, sarcastic, cussy little mess through my business. I'm glad that I made that pivot because there are so many like-minded people who just like a fun, snarky, sarcastic time. And my silly little business resonates with them. And I'm glad to be able to provide some silly little stickers and cups and bags and things for all these like-minded people. Sometimes it does require a pivot in your business model and in your mindset in order to make some of this pop off in any kind of way. Am I having sold out launch days? Absolutely not. Nowhere even close. Do I even get orders on launch days sometimes? No, that is not where my business is. However, when I go back and I look and I pull any of the reports from 2019 versus the reports that I just pulled last night, it's day and night. It's day and night, and it is so awesome to see. And boggles my mind on just how much can change in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years. And if I keep pushing and keep doing these things, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what my tax return is going to look like in 5 years. It's just exciting to think about. It's exciting to think about. It's fun. I love it. So we're going to keep pushing. Gonna keep pushing, and hopefully I just keep doing this so y'all can also be a part of and witness what Blank Space and I are able to get into within the next couple of years. Fingers crossed. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. Anyways, all that to say, if your Q2 numbers aren't looking the way that you would like them to, don't be discouraged. We're all there. We all have some grandiose plans that we're attempting to do, and we're all just going to buckle down and we're going to do them together. How about that? We'll just attempt to get all this done together as a group because we are all in the same position. A bunch of small business owners that's just trying to make it work. Right? Right. Anyway, so I didn't write anything down for this video. I feel like it was very rambly and all over the place and not as clear and concise as I would have wanted it to. Hopefully you got something out of this, maybe, because I'm not going to do it again. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to record it again. We're I think this is going to be it. I think this is great. Anyways, here's to a successful, productive, and stress free third quarter. And here's to all of the great holiday planning and all of the great holiday planning videos that I plan on watching and hopefully providing in the very near future. As always, folks, thanks for rocking with me. I'll see you around the internet somewhere.